Hello ERLC, my name is Mike Filbey. I went to UW-Madison from 2010 to 2013 and had probably the best year of my life, freshman year on the ERLC. So I hope that you are all enjoying yourself and being friends with each other. Today I'm going to share a few tips on how to start a company and how to best take advantage of your time on the ERLC. So when I came into the ERLC, I had an idea. And that idea was to make selling a house full of furniture simple. In high school, I saw just how much stuff my mom had, and when we were trying to move and sell a bunch of it, how difficult it was to do on Craigslist. All the time it took to take the photos, write the listings, research the value of the items, handle all the back and forth communications with buyers. It was just a complete mess. So I started a company to make that process a lot simpler and more profitable for individuals who had a house full of stuff, and they could also even donate money to charity, which was cool. So I actually took some time off after junior year to develop Canary because it was becoming a lot of work for me to juggle school and the business. I partnered with two co-founders. One of them is on the left, Mosin. The other one is Mark. And Mosin actually lived in my parents' basement for a year, did like the whole startup story thing. We got accepted into this awesome incubator called the PayPal Start Tank, where we were paired with 15 other startups and got just a lot of exposure to the Boston ecosystem and really made myself a bit of a name in Boston, which was cool because that goes a long way. Definitely need to work on your personal brand. It's important. Ultimately, Canary did not work out. We did some really cool stuff, though. We helped thousands of people buy and sell furniture. We donated over $20,000 to local charities in Massachusetts, and we did over $350,000 in sales. So it was definitely a great journey, but now I'm on to the next one. So what I'm working on lately is called ButcherBox, and I will share that soon. So here is ButcherBox. ButcherBox delivers 100% grass-fed beef directly to your door each month. We launched on Kickstarter just recently, and we set out with a goal of raising $25,000 and actually raised over $200,000, which was pretty cool. I got involved with ButcherBox because my main advisor with Canary, Mike Salguero, was also transitioning out of his startup called Custom Made. And when he heard that I was moving on from Canary, he offered me the opportunity to join him in this venture. And to date, it's been an awesome experience. I've learned a ton about Kickstarter. There's definitely a science to having a successful campaign. And I'd be happy to talk with any of you individually if you're interested in trying to launch a product. It's really cool. So now I'll be getting into my tips for running a company. The first one is don't go it alone. Make sure you find a co-founder who is cool, who works hard, who shares a similar vision to you, and also enjoys fast food. And here's my other co-founder, Mosin. That was Mark in the last photo. My second piece of advice is don't be afraid. I realize that even the thought of starting a company can be very intimidating, but if you want to make real change in the world and you want to do it really soon and you want to do it on your terms, then starting a company is a perfect way to do that. And personally, I just didn't want to look back on my life and say, I wish I tried. I wish I tried that idea. I wish I tried harder. I want to say that, I gave it my all and it didn't work out. But that's okay because at least I tried. The worst thing is if you don't try. So try. So this is a picture of me sleeping in our office in Boston, which I would do far too often, and I 100% regret it. It was super stupid. But this piece of advice is to take care of yourself because you are a huge part of the company, and if you're not taking care of yourself, then you're really not taking care of the company. So make time for your health, things you enjoy, your friends, your family. Otherwise, it's going to really make your work suffer. So it really backfires trying to be a superhero. Don't be a superhero. My fourth tip is that you're going to have to become comfortable taking risks. This is a photo of a check Ford had sent me in anticipation of me starting a job in Dallas. But after winning the Burrell Business Competition AARP prize for $5,000, I had a bit more confidence in Canary and wanted to see it through. So I ripped the check up and taped it either side of my mouse pad for motivation and a reminder to work hard and just to see what I sacrificed. Ultimately, it was an awesome decision. My next tip is to take full advantage of the resources that the ERLC and the school have to offer. There's never really going to be a more supportive time to start a company than when you're a student in college, especially at UW-Madison. People want college students to succeed. People want young entrepreneurs to succeed now more than ever. The school wants you to succeed because then it looks good for them. So you should take advantage of as many resources as you can, and they offer a ton, from business plan competitions like the Burl, which is a photo here, to the student business incubator, to the various startups in the area that you can intern with to get your feet wet, Merlin mentors, and then also the entrepreneurship classes and that Dream Big grant, which is like the easiest $1,500 or whatever it is that you're probably ever going to get. So just apply for it, go create something, work with a couple other cool people, and just learn a ton along the way. I know you will. My sixth tip is to remember that when you start a company, you are the brand, especially in the early stages when sometimes it literally is only you. So just remember to carry yourself professionally and just try to be as likable as you can. I realize that seems kind of weird, but people want to invest in and work with likable people. So you may be wondering why I have a picture of Kanye West. I like his music, first off, but I also think that he is a good inspiration and a good model, in a sense. So I would say that Kanye is cocky on the outside and cocky on the inside. What I would recommend is that you be humble on the outside, but cocky on the inside. When you start a company, you need to have a bit of arrogance because there's going to be a lot of haters out there trying to put you down and steer you off course, but you really just need to stay true to your gut. As he says in his song Last Call, now I can let these dream killers kill my self-esteem or use my arrogance as a steam to power my dreams. I use it as my gas, so they say that I'm gassed, but without it I'd be last, so I ought to laugh. I realize it seems kind of silly, but sometimes rap music can remind you that you just gotta follow your goals and dream big. My next piece of advice is to make time for fun because burnout is a real thing and starting a company is very stressful. And as the leader of your company, it's very important that you maintain high morale amongst your employees, interns, co founders. Otherwise, they will leave. And also, don't overwork them. That's something that I learned the hard way. But yeah, just doing little socials, bringing in donuts on Wednesdays, small things like that can make a big difference. So on that same point, here is a picture of a party bus. So I'm showing you this because one of the CEOs of a startup in the Start Tank, that PayPal space that we worked out of, was incredible at getting her team behind her every move. And the reason that she was so good at doing that is because she kept them very happy. She did cool things. We had this like tater tot tour where we went around in a party bus and went to all the best places in Boston for tater tots, and of course had some drinks. And she invited a bunch of people from the Start Tank. And this is something that was definitely like expensive for her, but really goes a long way for her personal brand as well as the morale of all of the people she brought on, specifically her company. So doing things like this is really important, and it was awesome. So my eighth piece of advice is don't work to work, work to get results. This is my car, orange 2008 Honda Fit, the pumpkin. I was there pretty much every weekend in the office, whether my co-founders were there or not, and I was grinding away. And half the time I didn't need to be, but I just wanted to succeed so badly that I would waste my weekends going in there and being unproductive. So don't be like me. So my next piece of advice is just a reminder that perception is reality. So this is the PayPal Start Tank we worked out of, and we noticed a huge transformation just in the quality of the meetings we had with investors when they were meeting with us here versus our other office in Quincy, which wasn't nearly as nice, but was still super awesome. So just remember that the image matters where you work, what you project personally, and it can make or break you. My next piece of advice is don't start a company to get rich because 98% of the time you'll actually lose money. I'm not saying this to be a downer. I'm just saying it so that you know what you're getting into. I would eat a PB&J every day to save money. I was living at my parents' place for 2 years. Finally moving out. I'm almost 25. Jeez. So yeah, just know what you're getting into. So my 11th piece of advice is to remember that it doesn't happen overnight. Building a company, especially one that's successful with lots of customers, takes a lot of time. It often takes a lot of money, which takes time to get, and it takes a lot of patience and perseverance. This is Big Sean. As he said, I guess it took 10 years for me to be an overnight success. A lot of people look at rappers or entrepreneurs and they think that, wow, they just made it, when in reality, it takes so much hard work to even come close to making it. This is my 12th piece of advice. Sorry, guys. So this is a photo of my dog, Wally. And the reason I have this is because almost every morning I wake up at 6 a.m. and I go and take him for a walk in this beautiful park. And I do that because it calms me down. And just being in the startup environment, whether or not you're a CEO or a co-founder,
is extremely stressful. So it's important to make time for things that calm you down, you enjoy. Hopefully, it's something that is outdoors and gets you out of the office and away from those rectangular screens. Okay, you've made it. My last piece of advice is don't settle. So this is a picture of my buddy Ian. He has always wanted to work in the music industry. He came out of school from UNC, obviously a great college, and it took him over a year to find a job. A lot of my other friends just kind of jumped into things that they didn't love, and now they regret it. But Ian persevered, waited, took a ton of meetings, a ton of trips to New York, West Coast, to try to find someone who would hire him to work at a music label. And ultimately he did, and he's so happy. And now he can take me to concerts for free. So be patient and don't settle.
In closing, I'm going to try to sell you guys on starting a company. So, I'm not a super smart guy, but I did work really hard. And what I've learned in the last 3 years has set myself up so well for the rest of my career. And I wouldn't have made any changes despite failing fairly epically. And Mike on my right, he is the original founder of ButcherBox. He failed even more epically than I did. He raised $27 million with a company called Custom Made, had a team of 40 people, and now they have a team of 5. And he ultimately left, started ButcherBox. But the point is that both me and Mike are so much better off now because we had experience. And that's what people in the startup world call it. They call failures experience because it's almost expected that you fail. And people look for entrepreneurs who've had failures because chances are they're not going to make the same mistakes again. Where the next guy who hasn't failed yet is probably going to make those first early mistakes that can absolutely crash and burn a company. So you really should just go for it. If you have something you're passionate about, just do it. Even if you fail, like me and Mike did, you're probably going to be better off than if you did a lot of other things, even other things that maybe seem like great opportunities, because you're going to personally learn so much about yourself and then also really differentiate yourself from the pack and get the attention of a lot of people who are going to want to support you along the way and thereafter. Good luck. Almost forgot, here is my email address. Feel free to contact me anytime if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to talk with you over a call or when I visit Madison, hopefully over Halloween or a football game. We can grab a coffee or something and chat. So write this down, or Professor Surdick, I'm sure, can provide it to you if you're interested. But thanks for your time.